Hello YouTube, it's Iori here from Team Endgame, bringing you a deck profile of the deck I took to Germany for their BCS, I think it is. So I took Oracles, and we'll just get into the deck breakdown. Should be a tournament report up either before or after this, which will go into kind of how well I did and the games, so what happened, but this is just a deck breakdown for it. Hopefully I'll be up before it, so then, you know, go this. Anyway, starter is Legends Magus, because apparently, so effectively I stole Aaron's deck, and he refuses to use the bunny, so we'll put it over there, because I'm going to go basically steal what other people are doing and go for the threes down to the zeros. So we'll start off with probably one of the cards which everyone hates is 2 Victorious Deer. Very simple card, Soul Blast 2 grade 3s, everything on the field at that time gets 10k power, search the top 7 cards for 2 crits, put them to the top. Pretty good card if I'm honest. I see it a lot more as it's their win con because you either get the 2 crits so they have to deal with it, or if not, the power you get, because normally your columns are what, about 20, like if you're really good you can get 23s, but you can get about 20 17s columns, and then you just add 20k on that for some weird reason, plus maybe 2 triggers, so it's just really good card. Your first grade 3 I usually find you want to ride is CEO Amaterasu, purely because, you know, the other one has an on ride on if you ride on a grade 3 skill. So Ami is on ride, doesn't do anything, gift marker, protect. Deer is also protect, so you can ride Deer, it's Vanguard or Rearguard skill. So Ami is Vanguard only, counterblast 1, draw a card, look at the top card of your deck, top or bottom. And then the second skill, which is Vanguard or Rearguard, which is very useful to note because she's a good, and you can beef up her as a Rearguard grade 3, is every time you look at the top cards of your deck, well, when you look at your deck, due to effects of your cards, it gets plus 5k, and it stacks. So her skill itself will give her 5k, and if you have anything else in the deck which looks, get another 5k. So she can be 22 plus more. She just gets beefy and beefy. And then probably I find the best grade 3, purely on it wins you games point of view, is Imperial Daughter. Again, gift, protect. She has 2 skills, one of which I always forget to use. And so the first skill, so she's Vanguard only, so she's a terrible rig. So Vanguard only, counterblast 1, 1 placed, look at top 2 cards of your deck, add 1 to hand, 1 to soul or top of your deck. So theoretically you can just go ride CEO, ride Imperial, soul charge of grade 3, and then you have Deer active. So effectively she's great setup, and also if she rolled on top of a grade 3, she gets 15k and a crit. So then she swings for 27 on her own, 2 crit, it's pretty good. And then her second skill, once per turn, is Soul Blast 1, anything, and one of your units, so again anything, gets plus 6k to the end of turn. So do that to herself if you do your own ride, so it's 27 plus 6, 33, 2 crit, pretty good. Do it to other columns which aren't hitting the numbers you want, give them plus 6. Really good, powerful card, strong effect, boss monster of the deck in my opinion. Then we go on, so I run 10 grade 3s, which I think is probably pretty standard now, for Oracle at least. Now we move on to grade 2s, I run 2 Battle Sister Torty, whatever it is. You only run 2 because I find especially getting its skill off is a pain, and the skill is if you have 10 or more cards in your hand, it gets 10k and a crit. So really good skill. If you get 10 cards, it's pressure, real pressure, saying 18 with a crit. Yeah, I get it's a 15k guard, put a trigger on that, 28. And that's without even boosters. So if you think you can have like a 5k boost. I don't think anything in this deck is less than 5k boosting wise. So you've got 18 or 23 with a crit, so they have to drop 20 to guard it. You could CEO it without a booster, so again they have to drop a 20 guard. It just brings pressure. Well, the moment you get 10 cards in hand, pressure is active. Problem is it's 8k, so if you ride it, you get abused. I run 2 Silent Tom because this is purely on a it beat me once, so I want to beat someone with it card. But I also really like its skill. So it has a, when placed, Vanguard Rearguard, Counter Blast 1, this gets plus 6k to the end of turn, which will make it 15k on its own. And then during the battle, this unit attacked a Vanguard, your opponent cannot normal call units to the Guardian from hand, or cannot call normal units, sorry, to guard from hand. So effectively they have to guard the triggers. So what you can do is you can have it hit a really rubbish number, which would be like a 5k. So they cancel intercept, but if they don't have intercepts, you can do a really rubbish number, which would be a normal 5k, and then they have to guard with like a heal trigger or a crit trigger, and it's just really irritating. Or if you do it on a deer turn, or you pump its power up and you put triggers on it, then they can't just go like trigger grade 2, trigger grade 1, they have to go trigger. And it's just a really nice, I like it. But again, I run it 2 because basically grade 2s I find don't really matter too much as long as you find the ones you want. So these 2 are just like the extras. And so if I find either of these, depending on the situation, I go into them. The other grade 2, sorry, not last, is Yellow Witch Mimi. I run 3 of. And she's just simple on rearguard, one place, check top card, top or bottom. So would give the plus 5k to Hammy, and also you know what's coming. Or you can say it's not a trigger. You basically try and cheat out an extra drive check, which is what oracles do, and it's really good. Then the grade 2, I think, if you don't run 4 of, I don't really know what you're doing with your oracle build, is Promised Daughter. Basically can't be retired, so it's really good in that sense. It can't be retired by card effects, so you can still swing into it and kill it, but it forces them to swing into it and kill it. And Vanguard or Rearguard, when it attacks, if you have 4 more cards in your hand, it gets 6k. So if you ride it, it's 15 swinging at something, which means that if they guard 15, like on its own, if they drop a 15, it's 1 to pass. Because unless you have an 11k grade 2, you're always going to have 10 or 8 or whatever. So it's hitting a number without a booster. It's really good, and same effect on Rearguard. So again, with an 8k behind it, hits 23. 23 is a really good number to hit because it means it forces that 15k guard from the hand. And I know all crit triggers and front triggers are 15k anyway, but making so they can't just drop a grade 1 or a special grade 2, I think is really strong. So then move on to grade 1s. I run 4 Circle Magus. You want to ride it? It's really good skill. So Vanguard, Rearguard, when you drive check reveals a grade 2 or greater card, you may put it to the bottom of your deck and draw a card. So effectively, if your hand is full of grade 3s and you drive check a grade 3, you can say I don't want that, put it to the bottom, draw a card. Or if you have a bunch of grade 2s already and you're late in the game and you know you're never going to get 10 cards in hand and you drive check a taunt, you're like, well, I don't want it, get rid of it. And it depends on the drive check you do it on. So if you go like crit grade 3, then you can go, right, ditch it. Or you can go grade 3, ditch it, draw, and then maybe you hit a trigger that like 3rd card in. So that's a Vanguard or Rearguard effect. And then the other effect it has is when you ride over it, you Counter Blast 1 and draw a card. So effectively you go, I ride, draw, I take a damage, I ride draw. For no reason. You can't blast one, which, with this deck, the way it works and how much you can manipulate it, like your top deck, your drive checks effectively, you're probably going to heal, so it's effectively free the moment you heal. I don't run any on flips, but you'll see the rest of the grade ones later, but I see it very much, and a lot of the time I used it, I healed that damage before it came into play that I needed it open. If that makes sense, like I healed the damage I used for her before it came into and impacted my grade 3's counter blastage. So I didn't really mind too much that I was going to use it, and it draws me a card. Again, if you're grade locked or if you need like maybe defense, so you know against Kagero, and you know you need to draw those cards because if they waterfall you, you can't use those protect markers you get. Really strong card. I run 4 of the Farlelli Magus. Farfleet? Whatever it is. It's the same as the Yellow Witch, just check top card on rear guard, top or bottom. Again, 5k power for Ami, and also, you know, if it's a trigger, great. If it's not, I don't want it. So it's just that more setup. I run 2 Luckbird. Really like this card. Soul Blast 2, draw a card. Standard, really pretty good. Because it's 1 for 1, and it's a booster. 5k usually is good enough because you can manipulate your numbers wherever you kind of go to make 5k worth it. But also, it gets 6k when you do its skill. So what I did a lot with it is, you call it your Soul Blast 2, is 11k, you just swing at their Vanguard. It's just, you put it at the front, swing at the Vanguard. If they want to retire it, great. You've got rid of a 5k bird, which isn't doing anything for the rest of the game, except for being a 5k booster. And you might replace it anyway with an 8k. It replaces itself, but also can get a niggle out in the early game, or at a rear guard. So I really like the card. And then I run 2 Goddess of Tide of Times, Mizuhunum, whatever it is, Vanguard booster effectively. So, her skill is, when it boosts a Vanguard, if you have 3 or more cards in damage zone, it gets 6k to the end of turn, or into the end of that battle. So you've got a 14k booster, which is very good against if you're in a mirror match. Or if you're against a Protect or a Axel clan, because you're swinging for 14 plus 12. We're doing as good in any matchup. It just hits 28. 28 is a pretty good number to hit, without any skills going off. Yes, the requirement is 3 more damage, but it's when it boosts, so technically I think if you heal you don't lose the power, from my understanding. So yeah. But yeah, run at 2 is a Vanguard booster. Most of the time you can pump up your own Vanguards. And you'll probably find most of the time you may not have boosters. But if you get it, great, and it just helps out a bit more. And then trigger lineup is a very standard, because basically of Deer, 8 crit, 4 draw PG, and 4 heal. The deck is pretty much your grade 3s, your triggers, that grade 1 and that grade 2 are kind of always going to be in there because they're really good. Deer will be in there kind of no matter what, because the aim of the game of Protects is to keep reriding. That adds to your grade 3s and Soul, might as well do something with them. Oh wait, give my entire field plus 10k is, well, each unit 10k, so effectively if I've got full columns 20k, really good. 8 crit because you can't run 12, pretty much. I would happily run grade 1 PGs if I could run 12 crit. Might run 10 crit, 2 and 2, whatever, but I don't think that option is going to come to us anytime soon. Imperial Daughter is really good, really strong. The whole getting you the card and that top check or soul gauge helps you with maybe an earlier Deer. or building up that soul so you can use her second effect most turns. Grade 2s are kinda, you always want to run 4 Promise Daughter pretty much, because with an 8k behind it, you're always hitting 23. Well, I say always, as long as you've got 4 cards in hand, you're always hitting 23. And I think these are the 4 which are kind of very iffy, like the Toms and the Torts. But yeah, we'll see what happens with new support, but this is the deck I took to Germany. You'll see in the other video how well I did. As I think you can tell by the mat, I may have got at least top 8, which is pretty good. But yeah, that's the deck. I know it's OTT, so no one cares, and it's oh boo, OTT boring, yada yada yada. I'm not gonna lie, this deck's so easy to play, and it's so strong. Why wouldn't you run it? But that's my build. Feel free to destroy me on why am I running 2-2-2-2 on grade 2 and grade 1s, but it's what I did, it's what worked for me. I don't care so much for the 3 Deers. I know it's sort of becoming a bit more prevalent because you can lose Deers earlier in the game, you may call them as rear guards and they get easily killed. I didn't find that as an issue, that I needed another Deer, and it's also finding it is the problem, because if I'm, for a game I was sitting on Deer and I just felt like I was doing nothing. At least if you sit on Imperial, you can Soul Blast, give 6k. Sit on Ami, you can draw a card and sort of start checking. Sitting on Deer is horrible. So that's why I like it at 2. I don't see why I would run more, but who knows what happens in the future set. So yeah, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. There's Facebook. More videos will be coming soon, hopefully, maybe. My report for Germany will be up either before this or after this. And we have AL4 coming out in 2 weeks? A week? 2 weeks? So we might have some games there where Aaron can actually play Pale Moon. So yeah. Apparently there's a bell button as well, so you get to stay up to date with whenever we bother to post videos. Yeah. Toodles.